Now that our bodies are warmed up and we all have chosen a sacred space that we're going to make a diorama of, we can actually talk about how we make it. So when we discuss art, we usually talk about its composition. That is, what it's made of, so its materials, as well as how those materials are organized. I can show you some examples. This first diorama here is actually of the big island of Hawaii. I use many different materials here. For example, this purple paper is meant to be the ocean. This red paper here is the volcano on the big island known as Kilauea. We also have Mauna Loa here and Mauna Kea, which has snow on its peak and a big lake that feeds all of the aquifers on the big island known as Lake Waiau. And then if we actually rotate it, there's another mountain range back here that are the Kohala Mountains. This diorama is a good example of what we call depth. By having different elements, some closer to you, called the foreground, like Mauna Loa and Kilauea, and then having other elements in the background further away from you, like Mauna Kea and the Kohala Mountains back here, it creates depth, which actually makes an art piece feel like it is much bigger. It might actually draw you into it too because of the fact that there are all of these different elements at different areas. I also used some scrap fabric. You can also see the colors that I'm using here. The green indicates where there's more rainforest around the island. The brown in the center and around the volcano shows where more volcanic rock is. And there's a little patch of yellow right here that points to Ka'u, which is actually a desert on the big island. This second diorama is of the Eagle Yellow Taxi Cab Company in Fairbanks, Alaska, where I grew up and spent a lot of my young life. You can see that this is another good example of depth, having buildings closer to us as well as further away, and then you can even see some trees made in the back as well. What I really like about this diorama is that there is a lot more to it than just looking at it from the front. You can probably see a lot more from the top down, like the white paper parking lot in the back, or the basement house where me and my mom lived, and also the fabric scrap here in the center, which is where I played when I was a child. You can use a lot of different materials here, whether they be bottle caps, old pieces of art. You can definitely use different pieces of cardboard, whether they not have anything on them, or, for example, this seltzer box that has a lot of different colors. We're going to need scissors to actually cut everything. You can always add more color to your cardboard by using other colored pieces of paper like these, or you can use white paper and color them in with different colors, or color directly on the cardboard like I did earlier.